Hi, these are the top 10 films of 1965. When I say top 10, I mean my personal favourite films of 1965. Cheers. In at number 10, The Sound of Music. This cheery musical has some amazing numbers and the location photography in Austria is absolutely beautiful. It tells the story of a singing nun who becomes the governess of the Von Trapp children. Unfortunately, they sing as well. Their strict father, who sings a little bit, eventually starts to fall in love with the nun, but don't worry, before it gets too boring, Nazis show up. Even though it's very cute and twee, it's still a moving film, I think partly because it's based on a true story. Although it's always annoyed me, the nuns sing a song about how strange Maria is, and then the head nun criticises her for singing in the abbey. But she was literally just singing a song herself with the other nuns, the fucking hypocrite. In at number 9, Redbeard. Surprisingly, this isn't about a pirate. This is a very moral and worthy film about a strict doctor and his young and ambitious trainee. Akira Kurosawa directs and Toshiro Mifune stars as the strict doctor. Theirs was one of the great director-actor partnerships in film history. They made 16 films together, many of them some of the greatest movies of all time. This would be the last time they would work together though. They fell out during the 2-year production as Mifune lost out on other work, putting Mifune's production company into debt. Both of them were a giant in their respective fields, and when they worked together, it was absolute magic. Thank God we got 16 films out of it, and Redbeard is a really good final picture for these two to work on together. In at number 8, The Ipex File. This excellent spy film stars Michael Caine as Harry Palmer. Harry Saltzman, one of the Bond producers, wanted a spy that wasn't like Bond, so we get a spy with glasses who likes to bloody cook. The score by John Barry is absolutely fantastic. The psychedelic hypnosis stuff towards the end does age it slightly, but there's no denying this is a bloody cool film. And it was also better than that bloody Bond film that came out that year, Thunderball, which was really the sort of first average Bond film. And while the underwater photography is good, the scenes are so numerous and so slow that the whole film's boring. In at number 7, For a Few Dollars More. Clint Eastwood is back as the man with no name, well, in this he's called Manco. Sergio Leone ups the action and the scope from A Fistful of Dollars. While not getting to the epic scale of his later films, this is an exceptionally good sequel. Ennio Morricone's score is of course wonderful. And Lee Van Cleef is brilliant as Eastwood's rival bounty hunter. It does have that problem though, where their voices do not match up in sync. In at number 6, Dr. Zhivago. This epic romance from David Lean has a lot of brilliant things in it. It looks beautiful, and there are some outstanding sequences. I understand why it's not in Russian in order to have a bigger audience, but I do feel that films or shows set in Russia without the language, or indeed even the accent, takes something away a bit. But nonetheless, this is a great film from a master director, and you do get swept up in it. In at number 5, The Naked Prey. This is one of the most thrilling chase films ever made. Cornel Wilde directs and stars as a safari guide who's hunted down by a tribe after his hunting group insults them. It's a riveting film and it's got some shocking violence in it. The location photography is stunning, and while there isn't much plot or dialogue, the script was literally 9 pages long. The film completely holds your attention. It does have the problem of the super white guy outrunning and outlasting locals, but if you can look past that, you're in for a hell of a ride. He does stumble across every animal you could possibly find in Africa, but it's better than that 5-minute sequence in Octopussy where Roger Moore runs into every animal in India and makes a tiger sit.
Sit.
In at number 4, The Hill. Sidney Lumet directs this exhausting army prison film. We follow a group of new prisoners who arrive at a military prison in the Libyan desert. The men are bullied and basically tortured. The hill refers to a man-made sand dune that the men are forced to march up and down for no purpose. It's a really stressful watch. Sean Connery is perfect as the rebellious prisoner. You make me go up that hill again and I'll shoot you in the face. And the rest of the cast is amazing. Every character has a flaw, and their flaws in this situation come to the forefront and get even worse. It's a nasty film, but it's a truthful film and really captivating. In at number 3, The Spy Who Came In From the Cold. I love John le Carré's novel, and this is a brilliant adaptation. Richard Burton is perfect as the spy who crosses the Berlin Wall and pretends he wants to defect. There are brilliant twists and turns, but above all else, this feels completely plausible and real. It's tense and exciting, and throughout you have no idea of who to trust. Sol Kaplan's score is also absolutely beautiful. It's a really wonderful Cold War thriller. In at number 2, Repulsion. Roman Polanski's second film is one of his best. This horror film follows Catherine Deneuve losing her mind in a London flat. It's wonderfully inventive and quite shocking. This is the first of Polanski's apartment trilogy, which would later have Rosemary's Baby and The Tenant, and this is probably my favourite of the three, even though all three are fantastic. The film looks great. Gilbert Taylor was the cinematographer, and the previous year he shot the beautiful Dr. Strangelove and would later go on to shoot the first Star Wars. Polanski creates this amazing sense of claustrophobia and paranoia, and you sort of feel like you're losing your mind as the lead character does. Deneuve is brilliant at playing both the vulnerable and the intimidating, and this woman who's clearly had some form of abuse in her past. It's one of the great horror films of the 60s. And in at number 1, Loves of a Blonde. Milos Forman's incredibly moving and funny film about a young woman looking for love as an escape from her boring life in a shoe factory. Almost the entire cast are non-professionals and are so real in the film. This is a fascinating look into Czechoslovakia in 1965. Every scene is absolutely relatable and the situation completely real. It's a heartbreaking film, but it also has wonderful humour throughout it. It's a charming and tragic portrayal of a young woman deeply unhappy with where she is in life. The film takes you through every emotion. One minute you're laughing out loud, the other moment your heart is breaking, the next you are aching with embarrassment. It's a really beautiful picture. Bloody brilliant. Milos Forman shows just how wonderful a film, low on plot but high on character and realism can be. It's truly touching. So, counting down the top 10. In at number 10, The Sound of Music. In at number 9, Redbeard. In at number 8, The Ipex File. In at number 7, For a Few Dollars More. In at number 6, Dr. Zhivago. In at number 5, The Naked Prey. In at number 4, The Hill. In at number 3, The Spy Who Came In From the Cold. In at number 2, Repulsion. And in at number 1, The Loves of a Blonde. Well, that was my top 10 films of 1965. What are your favourite films of 1965? Cheers.